The seminar Media Didactics and Media Education, dealing with media in primary school, was offered in the context of teacher training in the Department of Education and Educational Sciences. Here, 30 students were to learn theoretical aspects of the use of digital media in teaching and reflect on digital elements in society. It is important for the future professional life of the teacher trainees to develop soft skills already during their studies. In the context of the seminar, communication, self-reflection and critical thinking should be developed. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the seminar was implemented as an online course. The soft skills were to be promoted with the help of an active learning method, feedback exchange. The active learning method, feedback exchange, was implemented in the online course in order to enable a certain exchange of students even during the corona pandemic and to initiate soft skills, communication, self-reflection and critical thinking asynchronously and online as optimally as possible. An online tool called DoIT within the learning management system StudIP was used to provide students with a transparent time frame for the tasks and to automatically assign partners for the peer review process. The processing of the tasks followed a three-step approach based on interactive constructivism, a teaching learning theory. Each time a theory is dealt within a task, the individual biographical starting position and attitude towards the topic should be communicated in a short caption. Subsequently, the new construction phase, the students worked on literature and other medias shared by the teacher to construct something new. This means they learned about new theories or at least aspects of these theories. Finally, the so-called deconstruction phase, students check the newly learned theories for missing aspects or omissions, and they look again at their own biography or socialization, but this time with theoretical knowledge. Let me add an example here. The students had 3 tasks when working on the first work package. First, they were asked to deal with their own media socialization and describe it in a few sentences. Then the students read a text about mediatized society and the so-called digital natives. Here the students constructed something new for them, namely a new theory. Afterwards, the students were asked to check the theories they had learned for omissions, which means they had to consider which aspects of the theory might be incomplete or missing completely. Finally, a reflective look at the previously formulated own media socialization should take place. After this intensive individual work phase, the students wrote a review on the results of their partners. They were asked to elaborate their perspectives and to address particularly critical points. A total of 6 work packages were processed in this way, and 6 reviews were written accordingly. The intended learning outcomes of the seminar were already an integral part of the seminar concept before the corona-related restructuring. Soft skills were promoted by the 3-step approach described above for each task. Due to the peer review process, it was communication that gained in importance. The students did not have to write for the lecturer alone, but also to communicate their results to their fellow students, and finally had to write adequate feedback for them. The results indicate a high degree of self-reflection and partly critical minds. Especially the 3rd step, the critical examination of one's own starting position, and the omission of the theories dealt with proved to be a suitable task to promote self-reflection and critical thinking. The peer reviews were very well suited to test the students' communication skills. Students had the opportunity to respond to their reviews with a commentary and to ask their fellow students if there were any incomprehensible aspects. In most cases, a polite and objective exchange about the respective results was established. The intended learning outcomes were verified by a formative assessment. The students had to use the tool, in our example DOIT within the Learning Management.ip, to enter their results and submit them on time. This made it possible to quickly and easily follow the individual development of the participants during the seminar. The peer review were also typed in using the tool after the partners were automatically assigned. The students had a previously jointly created structure available for the constructive formulation of their reviews. So it was possible to check how students communicated their thoughts to others. At the beginning of the seminar, the students were given a handbook on the technical aspects of the tool and the task structure. Open questions could be discussed in a forum, so that as many students with similar questions as possible could benefit and the time required to lead the course was kept within reasonable limits. It was very helpful to develop a structure for the upcoming peer reviews together with the students. Even before the first work package, a collaborative document was jointly written in order to agree on the content and formal aspects of the reviews in a democratic manner. Some students would have liked to have a best practice example of a review for orientation, but this was not provided for didactic reasons. This was intended to promote a free, uninfluenced formulation of reviews, which might have been undermined by a leading template. It should be checked during the review phase whether there are conflicts between students. In spite of anonymous mating, there were isolated conflicts which could be solved quickly. A sensitization of the teacher is necessary.